What is up, guys? Gary Oak here, showing off that BA deck you guys probably just saw me make. So let's just start it off. First game is actually going to be a pretty fast one, playing up against everyone's favorite deck, Artifacts. Now, I had no idea he was playing Artifacts at first, but my opening play, of course, I special summoned these two to get out my Virgil, and then send Barbar to banish 2 to deal an additional 600 plus the 2500 from Virgil, 3100 damage turn 1, not a bad thing. He chains to me setting Crush card to Artifact Ignition, and he sets some more Artifact back row. Little does he know I have no plans of fucking with those artifacts because I'm not an idiot. So I normal Sir attack with that. He's down to 800, and I think this is where he scoops. Yeah, that's where he scoops because he kind of knows he's fucked. Because the thing with artifacts is they have to be destroyed while they're in back row in order for them to hit field or get their effects off. Um, so if it's not back there, if like nothing hits it, then it doesn't really work. That's the big issue with artifacts, and that's why they required the trap tricks engine or things of that nature, hand traps, stuff like that, is to kind of support the deck while it got itself set up. And BA is just too fast and speedy of a deck. My next match is a bit of a longer one. I'm playing against Scraps. Shout out to my friend Michael, who loves himself some scraps. Um, Shit, I didn't mean to hit that. Anyway, so I open up with a pretty rough hand, but I've tried to save it with Tour Guide. He breakthrough skills it though, and I'm like, well, fuck. And that kind of puts me in a rough spot, and I'm actually going to take a lot of damage here opening up. I probably could have played it better. This is my second time ever playing BA. The first time was that artifact match. I've played against BA plenty, but I mean, I don't know the order in which you need to do stuff. Um, so there's Fiend Griefing coming into play. I shuffled in his tuner because I'm familiar enough with Scraps to know they're all about just cycling out tuners from grave to just keep sinking. So I shuffle in his tuner, and I send my Graph to grave, which Graph allows me to special summon from deck, get out my Scarm, and then I had a setup with Rubik. I was going to make Virgil, and he rods me. But I guess that's the game. But the good thing is since Scarm is sent to grave, I did get a search off that. Now here's where it takes some damage. Dropped to 24. But good news is for you chickadees at home, I don't go lower than this. So he sets up the Mirror Force. I pitch the Sir, use Sir to get out Graph, which I somewhat regret. Or I should have got out the Rubik instead. But hindsight's 2020. He attacks the Graph, I get out another Sir, and that's the turn. And now I get out two Sirs, make a Dante, pitch, and so with that, I milled 3. The 3 I milled were these 3. I used Barbar and Sir's effect. Barbar, I'm banishing 3, so he'll take 900, and that's just some good burn. And then I have Rubik on board. The importance of Rubik being on board is for that to fucking happen, and now I can make Virgil next turn. And so now he plays Scrap Factory, but he can't get over that. That's too big a booty. Which I didn't realize that was a second Mirror Force, so I'd make Virgil, and I'm feeling pretty good about myself. And I banish it with Farfa, so I'm like, that's 25 free damage. And I cycled the other Mirror Force back into the deck and pitched a Graph to get out a Scarm. And little I didn't know, he top deck right into that. He top decks right into that Mirror Force, but I'm able to kind of regain my board. Go put Dante back in attack. Holy shit, he had Solemn. He couldn't do it though, because he didn't have the life points after this attack. Oh wow, interesting. But yeah, at this point the deck's running a little thin, and that's where, like I said earlier, I should have done things a tad bit differently. But it's fine because there's a Farfel in there. I'm gonna cycle that card back in, attack for 25, and win the game. Very intense match. BA, like I said, they're a really cool deck, really fun deck. Easily tier 2 just because the plays, it's a consistent deck. You choose your plays, and there's a lot of options there. But the biggest weaknesses is obviously you can deck thin really bad, your Dante can mill poorly, and banishing just cripples the deck. When you guys see my tier, the top tier deck I have, my number one, the strongest deck, what I think in the meta, you guys will kind of see why. But remember, if you guys enjoy this, to rate the video, like the video, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.